Hello, everyone. How are we this evening? It's Sunday night. Today is I think it's the 13th. Let me check. Yes, April 13. So we're nearly halfway through the month. Can you believe that? Bit crazy. Um, time is flying. Excuse me while I get my mouth together. Time is flying by so fast that I just feel like I'm just not able to catch up. Do you ever feel like that? Like everything is moving so fast and you're thinking, how on earth am I going to get it all done? It's okay. I've just got to remember one day at a time. That's how we do it, right? Ah, hello everyone. I can see all of you here in the comments. Got a great group here as per normal. Every Friday night and Sunday night, I am always absolutely astounded that you guys just keep showing up. And as long as you guys keep showing up, I promise I will keep showing up for you as well. So, Friday nights and Sunday nights currently, I'm not saying it'll always be that schedule because obviously things change and move around. At some point, I know I'm going to be going overseas in a couple of weeks, and so I'm deciding. I probably, while I'm away, I'm going to drop one, and I'm not sure which one it's going to be. Because I'm thinking probably Sunday nights will be the one I drop while I'm away. We'll see how we go, but we'll see what everyone thinks. I'm interested to hear what everyone else thinks. Which is the best one for you guys? Do you prefer a Friday night? Do you prefer a Sunday night? I'll keep going with the Technique Tuesdays, because everyone seems to love those. Hello, Elaine. How are you? Nice to have you with me. Hey, Pamela, or do you go by Pam? Which one do you prefer? 2 days, two in a row, Friday and Sunday. That's fantastic. Oh, Sunday morning. So you must be over in Europe somewhere. Is that right? Maybe in the UK? Because I know it's still late on Saturday evening in the US. So, oh, Rose had good news, did she? Did I miss the good news? I'm looking back through to see what comments I have missed. And there are so many people here tonight, I have no chance of remembering everyone's names. So I'm just going to say hello, everyone. That'll have to do tonight. You haven't been happy with your card making this week. Well, let's have a little think about that. Let's get everyone here to have a little think about. Leslie said she's not been happy with her card making this week and she's a bit depressed about it. I'm going to put that comment up on the screen, okay? And how about we can all support Leslie through this, because I think every single person in this group at some point has felt like that motivation, the mojo is lacking, right? You all feel like that sometimes. And that's one of the reasons I do these live videos. I want you guys to be able to get out of that when it happens to you, because it happens to everyone, okay? So please don't ever think you're alone. If you're not happy with your card making and you're feeling a bit down and out about it, just remember it happens to everyone. It's normal. And card making and motivation and all those things, they're a cycle. It's a circle. And sometimes you're at the top of the circle and everything's easy and great and it all just comes naturally. And other times you're down at the bottom. But when you've done with that bottom bit, you will come back up the other side. So don't ever feel like you're stuck there. You're not stuck there. And there are some things that you can do to get yourself out. Let me put that comment away. And I want to see what everyone else. Margaret said, just keep going. And Katrina says, yes, we've all felt like that. Yep. Cherie said, keep going. Do more to it. Cut it up. Use it differently. Trust the process. Exactly. You have to trust the process. Oh, are you talking to me, Susie? I did get to speak or chat by text briefly with Sheila yesterday, and she said it was pretty tough right now, but she's not going to let it get her. So that's what she said. I'm hoping that that we get to hear from her at some point. And Sheila, if you're watching this, feel free to say hello. Okay, we don't expect you to be on every comment. We just would love to hear that you're okay. New Zealand is a couple of hours in front of us, so it would be quite late there. So it's just after 7:30 here. It'd be after 9:30 over there where she is. Oh, that's the message, is it? Oh, okay. So this is the message. Okay. So I'm going to read it aloud. I'm actually going to put it up. Okay. So everyone can see it. So this is the message from Sheila. She said, "Hi, still feeling awful. My cancer has returned, and so I am having chemo and radiation, which is draining. Yes, it is, but it's the nausea that really gets me. I hope to go sometime this week." Okay, so and then she's got a second one after that, but we'll then have outpatient visits. I'm waiting for a kidney transplant, but that's now on hold, so I'm having more dialysis. Doesn't leave much time for other things. Thank you for the update. So grateful. Thank you, Cherie. And yeah, like I said, I had a very quick exchange with her yesterday. So we know she's fighting. She's fighting, and of course she would. Nairi's talking about Leslie's issue where she says she's felt like that plenty of times. Yes, soldier on. You've only got your mojo back today after a tough week, right? Yeah, I remember you saying that on Friday night. It had been a tough week. Well, we are a supportive group around here, and I'm so grateful for all of you. We will hold Sheila in our hearts and make sure that she knows that she's being thought of and supported from here and from wherever you guys are. Oh, so it's not Cherie that's having, that was Cherie posting what Sheila had said, Glenda. So it's not actually Cherie that is having those issues. It's Sheila. So so there we go. Yeah. All right. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. It's not silliness. It really does get you down and out when you feel like you have lost your mojo. But just know it's normal. That's what we're gonna concentrate on tonight. That is very normal. And there's a couple of things you could do. You can watch these videos. You can watch other people's videos. You don't just have to watch mine. You can find someone who really inspires you when they create and watch those. Okay, have a go at a couple of different things. Try maybe a couple of different techniques. Maybe try a sketch. Excuse me, I all of a sudden feel like I need to yawn. Oh, I'm so sorry. That just came out of nowhere. I've been cleaning all weekend, so I am exhausted. Hey, Ellen, how are you? So we're basically trying to get the house all set up and basically like a spring cleaning, except of course it's autumn, not spring, but basically doing the house from one end to the other. So we did 2 more bedrooms this weekend, including our own, pulled everything out, wiped everything down, did all the things, right? That's a really great question, Janine, about getting contact details. We'll get those. We'll get those. Okay. So at the moment, I've just been talking to her on Messenger through Facebook, but I'm sure we can get an address. So that's a great idea. Let's give her an avalanche of cards to keep her busy. So following a sketch is a great way, and try some challenges. There's a lot of online challenges. If you're part of a team of demonstrators where they do challenges and that kind of stuff, then that's actually fantastic. But even if you're not a demonstrator, there are customer groups where you can go on and take part in different challenges. There might be color challenges, there might be limited supply challenges, all different kinds. Do a couple of challenges. Those are great. Okay, so all right. Oh my goodness, that's no good. That's no good. Hey Joan, how are you? Right. Okay. Well, by the time our cards get there from here, hopefully she will be home by the sound of things. I hope that means that is okay. All right. So let's get going. Let's start. I've actually got an empty desk. All right. It's all empty and ready to go. So I'm going to switch over to that. Okay. Just to let everybody know that we are in last chance right now. And what that means is that many of the items in this catalogue and many of the items in this catalogue are being retired. They're being discontinued. Okay. Now, not everything. Some things are going to continue on. But what you can do, okay, you can actually go to the online store. Okay, and I'll have in the description below the YouTube video, straight after this video, I'll have all the information in there for you to go and click on if you want to go and look at the online store. because it tells you what's last chance, and you can go to the last chance section and everything that's in last chance will come up. Okay, makes it so much easier. Okay. All right, so that's all. Now, I thought tonight I'm going to do, I did have a request to do something possibly tonight, and we might get to that next. Oh, I'm wondering if I should do that first. But I was thinking tonight that I might play around with the Mediterranean Blooms bundle or this Citrus Blooms bundle, because the stamps and dies are being discontinued. I can't remember whether the opal rounds are, but the paper is not. The paper's staying, but the stamps and the dies that match this paper are going to be discontinued. Now, let me have a very quick look, and I'll tell you if the opal rounds are also going. Give me a second. Let me have a quick look. I'd rather tell you so that I give you the right information. Right, so the opal rounds that are in here, they're called opal rounds assortment. Those are not retiring, and the paper is not retiring. It's just the bundle, so the stamps and the dies. Okay, so I thought I might play with those. That might be a bit of fun. And I might do the requested ones second. Might do that. So I'm going to start out with, I've still got my broken trimmer. You guys might remember I broke a piece off it the other day, so it's not doing quite as well as it should. But I have got some, I'm going to start with a basic white thick card base, and I'm going to fold that in half. So this is half a sheet of A4, folded in half again. If you're in the US, you just use your US letters cardstock, same thing, half a sheet and then fold it in half again. All right, now I'm going to go and put, I've got some watercolor paper here, and I'm actually going to do a watercolor stamping of this. And the set that's retiring is this one, the Citrus Blooms. This is such a beautiful set. Thank you, Cherie. That's great. There is, I think at the moment, I looked at these and I think the dies are marked down so much that I'm pretty sure it would be cheaper to buy the stamps and dies than it is to buy the bundle. So the Citrus Blooms, this is a really nice die set because it's got some really interesting dies in it. And you can see it cuts out. So, for example, you've got this lovely big, this beautiful, and I think I'll probably use, I don't know, will I use this one or will I use the smaller one with the one? Maybe, no, I think I'll do this one. And this one, this cuts this out perfectly, right? So this is the right die to cut this out. And it's a fabulous die. It's got lots of detail. You can get all the bits and pieces from your stamp fitted nicely. I'm just going to put that on there. Okay, and then what's nice about this is we have some standalone dies as well. So we've got the ones, these that match the stamps, but then you've got like little guys here, like these are like almost like palm fronds or palm leaves, aren't they? And then in here, you can cut the outside piece of your like on a card front and you can make a frame with it, or you can actually pair it up with the leaves and make a leafy frame, which is really pretty, really, really nice. Okay. You have never used them, Dolores. Now, there's my challenge to you. You need to use them. These are fabulous. They're so good. And I have used them so many times. I'm so happy with these. So I'm going to suggest to you, now let me see if this will fit nicely. Yes, it will. This is half a sheet of the watercolor paper, the Fluid 100 watercolor paper. And I'm actually I'm deciding what color. I think I'll stamp this in navy because the paper and all the coordinating bits are navy. And I haven't decided which bit of paper I'm going to use yet, but we'll get to that. So just going to, and if I wanted to do a no line coloring, I could do that. And then I would just use a lighter color so that you wouldn't see the line when it was painted. And that gives us a beautiful look as well, but I'm not doing that today. But I'm not stamping it too dark. That's just with navy ink. And I'm going to use, let me grab a couple of water painters. Are water painters still in stock? I know that they're being retired. I'm pretty sure they're on last chance, aren't they? I'm just quickly looking. Water painters. Give me a second. Oh, have they gone? They're not coming up. I'm thinking maybe they've gone, because I know that they were going to go, because the company that was making them is no longer making them. So that's why that would be the case. So if I look at the inventory status report, does it tell me that they're gone? No, it doesn't, but they're probably on the discontinued list. So that's what I think is happening with those. Yeah, you got some last week, Tanya. Fantastic. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they've gone. All right, I'm still going to, for those of you who do have them, or you could use a brush and, you know, do it that way. But I'm actually going to start with, are these oranges? I think they are. All right, I'm going to come in here with some peach pie, like a light orange, the peachy color. And then I'm deciding whether I want to go with like pumpkin pie, which is very orange, or whether I want to go more corally. Maybe I'll go with the very orange. I don't know. Let's try it. It can't hurt. We'll see how we go. I'm going to start with the peach, and I'm going to squeeze through some water. Oh, it's not. This one doesn't. Oh yeah, it does have enough water in it. Huh. And I'm going to mix it up and saturate my brush with that. Now, because I used watercolor, because I should have used StazOn. Now I'm thinking to myself, that was silly. I should have used StazOn. Should I go back and do the other side? Because what's going to happen is our ink is going to bleed. I don't know if you can see that. It's already starting to bleed a bit. All right. Which, you know, you might not mind that look. Oh, Timid Tiger. That would be nice. Why didn't I think of that? Timid Tiger. So that's a little bit more orangey, but not as orange as, not as darker orange. It's a softer color. Can you see softer than the pumpkin? All right. So I'm actually gonna start over. Let me just grab myself. Yep. Just gonna blot that so it doesn't go everywhere on the other side. I'm actually going to start over, but I'm going to do StazOn this time. And I'm just going to make sure that my StazOn. Well, that was silly. Silly Billy me. Because I was thinking originally maybe blends, and then I kind of, yeah, anyway. So I'm just actually adding a bit more StazOn ink to my ink pad, because I do not like it when it doesn't stamp dark enough. I actually re-ink StazOn pretty often, because I like to keep it nice and dark when I stamp with it. So looks like the orange is going moldy. Oh, you don't mean my ink pad, you mean the actual orange. Yeah, it does a bit, doesn't it? Let's not do that. So I would have a couple of options. I've got the brown StazOn if I wanted it to be more of like a no line watercolor effect, or I've got the black if I want the outline to stand out more, and I actually do want it to stand out more. So I'm going with the black. All right, so we're going to see the difference when I do this. It's probably a good example of what not to do, and I should be able to show you quite quickly the difference, because StazOn is so named because it stays on. This is the one you use if you're using watercolor. If I'm using blends, then I would use what I originally used, which is a water-based. So if you're using blends, you want to use water-based inks to do your stamping with. Right, now this time, this time nothing's moving. See the difference? So I'm actually just going to do this quite roughly. And I'm not being careful at all. And I'm going to leave some little white spots. I'm not going to color absolutely everything in, because the whole thing that gives watercolor life is when you are actually a little bit haphazard with it and don't try and be too precise. All right, so we're just leaving some bits undone. That's with the peach. Let me grab. All right, then I'm gonna come up to the timid tiger. Let's use this and see how it goes. Oh, hey, Lynn. All right, let's drop that in there. All right, now this is a new ink pad, so it should be nice and bright for us. Now, also how much water I use on my brush is also going to determine how much ink gets. You know, the more you. I might not need pumpkin. This might be enough. Yeah, I think this is going to be enough. Goes, makes everyone go quiet when they colour, including me. So okay, I think that's orange enough. Do you think that's orange enough? Okay, so I'm going to clean that off. What do I do with my cloth? Oh, thank you. That's fantastic. You're sending them over, are you, Cherie? Thank you for that. Rather than giving out someone else's address. That's great. Thank you. All right. Now I'm deciding what colour yellow to use. And because we've got a new yellow, maybe I should go with the Darling Duckling because I haven't used that before. So let's grab another. I'm going to grab another block. It's quite a dark yellow. So I'm wondering if I should start with a softer yellow like Lemon Lolly. Lemon Lolly is much softer. You're going to see the difference when I put that on. I mean, oh, it's got some fluff on it. Great. It's yellow, but it's not nearly as yellow. Can you see the difference there? So I'm just going to squeeze a bit of water out on this block here and pick up. And I'm just going to go light to start with. I do yellow flowers. They definitely need to be darker. So that's where the Darling Duckling yellow, or I could also have gone daffodil. Daffodil would also be nice. I tell you what, if you're not happy with your card making, because I'm coming back to that a few times today, something I would suggest is that you just make cards for you. And if you have a favorite technique, that you lean into that technique. So if you absolutely love to heat emboss, do a bunch of heat embossing, okay, if that's what you love to do. I'm actually going to add a little bit of Timid Tiger to these buds as well. So I'm going pretty light on those. I'm not. The thing is, watercoloring, you don't want to concentrate too hard and try and get it perfect. Just get some color down. Just apply your color. So I'm going to add a little bit of Timid Tiger to another block. I'm going to use the same brush, and I'm just going to add a little bit of orange to these little buds. All right, liking that. Oh, thank you, Cherie. That's going to cost a little bit. Let's talk about that together, shall we? That would be good. All right. So now the question is, what color leaves? Well, let's have a little look at the paper for some clues on that. So this is the paper that matches this, but this paper is not, see, they've used, looks to me like garden green and maybe some old olive in there as well. It should tell me on the back of the pack. So let me have a look. So the greens are garden green, old olive. Garden green and old olive. I got it perfect. We can talk about that, Cherie. I'm not happy. I'm not happy about that. You know that. All right, so I'm thinking for the leaves, I'm going to stick with the color that is in the paper because I really like what they've got there. And they've used these two, which normally I might not put together because I worry that they're a little bit of a green clash, but they made them work well in the paper. So I'm thinking we can make them work well on our card as well. So tonight we're doing a bit of technique, aren't we? We're watercolouring, which is one of my favourite techniques. Well, I'll pick a smaller block. So this one here, and I'll start. I think the garden green is a bit more solid than the old olive, a little bit heavier. So let me clean off this. All right, so we're going to go. So I'm going to go old olive first because I always prefer to start with my lighter color. And we're just going to very, very roughly go over this. And see how our stays on ink is not moving at all. So if you want to get some, if you want to, watercolor with your stamps, please make sure you get yourself some stays on. Does anyone not have stays on in their collection? It's kind of a important ink to have. So the important inks in my mind are white, the white craft ink that we have, and also Versamark. Versamark's pretty imperative, especially if you plan on heat embossing. And then your stays on. And then if you want to do, like, if you can use Memento, is just doesn't it look nice, even though I've done nothing. I haven't even added any more of any green in yet. I'm going to add some green in to add some definition, I guess you would say. So let me add some here. And I'm going to add some under this leaf here. It's made me go quiet again. Sorry, girls. You don't need to hear me talking all the time, do you? All right, so I'm going to do garden green. I'm going to use here on the stem. And so I'm using less water when I do the stems, just so they'll stand out a little bit more. All right, how's that looking? What do we think? Do we like that? It does look good, doesn't it? I mean, and really, I didn't do anything too special. I've just been a little bit haphazard with it, and I'd actually suggest that is what you should do. Okay, don't try and color everything in. Leave some white spots, because it's the white spots. Can you see what I'm talking about when I say it is the white spots that give it life and energy? And that's what you want. You want your watercoloring to have life and energy. Okay, so that can be a really great way of going, oh, we missed a couple of stems down here. Look at this. Missed some. Waiting, someone should have said, you missed the spot. Because everyone wants to hear that, don't they? All right, did I miss any more? Or is that it? I think that's it. And I'm just wondering, it does look like it's floating. It's just on a white background. Something I do sometimes, which I think can look really nice, is add a layer. Let me see if I've got another clean. Yeah, I do. A layer of pool party ink, like a little bit of pool party around. But because this paper doesn't have any pool party in, I wonder if we could do balmy blue. I think that might look nice. Let me try this. I'm just going to add a bit of balmy blue to this. Oh, it's a bit later than I thought, is it? So I'm just going to pick up a little bit of blue here, and I'm just going to squeeze a bit more out because I don't want it to be very dark. Still too dark. And you don't have to go real close, but you can kind of give it like a background. And we're just going to add a little bit here in the middle. Once again, I'm being rough. I'm kind of blending it out a little bit. And that way it looks like it's not just floating in midair, but it's got like a sky background going on, kind of. Well, kind of. As you can see, you don't need very much to make it look kind of cool. Right, kind of like that. Does that make sense, what I've done? I've kind of added a little bit of a background in. Oh, that's an interesting thought. Margaret, that was great. That's a really great tip. Margaret said she found fruit tingles really helped when she was on chemo. I wonder why. Is it the tingly thing? Oh, yeah. Look, Narelle, totally get that. It is an awful feeling. I haven't been through it myself, but I watched my mum go through it. And also I've had other friends who I know have been through it, and it's just, yeah, so exhausting, and so it makes you feel so sick. Yeah, it's not nice at all. So you guys have my sympathies, not my empathy, because I haven't been through it myself, but certainly I've seen it. So yeah, exactly. It makes it pop off the page. Exactly, Dolores, and that's what we want. So it's that background that really adds to it. And, you know, there's a few bits, like there's a bit of bleeding here where this flower is. I don't care. That looks fine. You know what I mean? It's what the reason why watercoloring is so pleasing to the eye, and when we see a beautiful watercolor in a frame or something like that, the reason why it's so like I said, so pleasing, is because there are elements missing. Not everything. Now with the stamp, it's pretty clear what this is. But if ever you've seen like a painting of a beach, or, you know, an outdoor scene or something like that done in watercolor, your brain actually fills in the bits that aren't there. And that creates a gap, if you like, and that is kind of exciting for your brain to fill. it's hard for me to, I don't know if I'm describing this very well, but watercoloring has that effect. It makes you actually think and actually complete the picture with your mind, and that's why it feels so good to look at pictures like that. Did that make any sense? I don't think it did. If someone understands what I mean, then please let me know. If you've got no idea, maybe just don't say anything. So, yeah, I've heard, Rose, that radiation, I mean, I don't know for sure. It's always the case. But I know when my mum had chemo, the chemo nearly killed her, actually. But the radiation was much better. Like when she had a second round with radiation, it was much, much better. I know she was terrified. Oh, you understood, Leslie. Thank goodness. Oh, and Tanya said it made sense as well. I'm so happy. Oh, well, it's a beautiful stamp, right? It's just gorgeous. All right, I think what we need to do is to get these gorgeous citrus blooms dies out. Let me put this away. And I was going to use a navy piece behind, but I'm actually thinking, because of the colours we've used, I wonder if I'd be better off with a balmy blue piece behind. And do I want to use some of the paper? Because, I mean, I could also, this is beautiful. This paper is gorgeous. I mean, look how lovely it is. Even though you can't see very much of it, it's beautiful. I just love this paper. So I'm really glad the paper's staying, but I'm sad that the rest of the set is going, because now let me see. If I wanted to do, would this cut this out? It probably would. And then we could put this, but then you won't see enough of that. No. So we're not going to do that, because it's not going to, you're not going to see enough of it. I could cut this down a little bit, but I'm actually thinking maybe instead of cutting it down, I might stamp here in the corner. And we do have, we have a hello, you're the best kind of person, and a just checking in. I have used this just checking in. I've used that more than any other stamp in this set, because I think that's really, really nice. Balmy blue, you think? It did make sense. Oh, good. No DSP, says Donna. All right, well, let's have a look at a piece of balmy blue and see how that would look. I've got plenty of balmy blue scraps. Let me see. Oh, this one looks like it might even be the right size. So do we think navy, or do we think the balmy blue? See, the balmy blue is quite nice, isn't it? I'm thinking that that's lovely. And I know a couple of people said they didn't like the paper, but that actually would work behind there. But I think you're right. I think we'll just go with the balmy blue. Do we like that? And I'm actually going to stamp on the corner here, like straight on. I could do a strip, but I'm thinking maybe we'll just stamp straight on. I'm deciding which greeting I want to have. You're the best kind of person. Yeah, that's nice, but it's, maybe I just want to say hello. I think I would use hello more than I use some of the others. Or Sue thinks navy, Monique thinks navy, Anne says balmy blue. So we have, oh, there's a bit of both. Oh, goodness me. All right, I'm going to pop this one on here, and I'm going to use, I am going to use navy blue ink, however, for my word. Even though I've stamped in black, I don't think it will matter because we're using blue elsewhere. So let's go a hello right here, like that. The balmy blue looks nice, says Donna. We've got a lot of navies and a lot of balmy blues. I think actually, oh, that's a good thought, Cherie. Didn't think about that. I forgot. Yes, you're absolutely right. That is a good thought about Sheila's dad. So I'm just doing the edges with my ink pad here, just to. How are we going for time? 8:11. So nearly finished. If I do it just like this and we just call that, if I put that on a white card base, I could have put it on a balmy blue card base as well, but we've already folded a white card base, so I guess I'll just stick with that. I lent We actually used some dimensionals in the bedroom today to stick down the what were we sticking? We're sticking down like the glass tops onto the top of the dresses, and we didn't want them to slip around, so we used dimensionals to stick them down. So let me grab some more, because I think I took all the last ones out to use over in the bedroom, and they're probably still there. Oh, goodness me. Balmy blue on a navy card base. Well, we could do that. I have already folded the white. We could do a navy card base. Let's have a look and see when we're done what would look best. Okay, so I'm putting it on the balmy blue for now. I should stand up actually to make sure I line this up in the middle. That's not looking too bad. That's about right. All right. All right, so the options are we can put this on a white card base, which would look like so. Oh, have I measured this incorrectly? It's ever so slightly too wide. Well, here we go. We're going to test my trimmer and its broken arm. And I'm going to, how wide is it? It's, yeah. So I'm actually going to take a tiny, tiny bit off this side. Well, that was silly. Goodness me, I'm having one of those nights. Never mind. And it's got to be 10 centimeters across when I'm done. So I have I don't know if she's watching tonight. I have a lovely, lovely friend coming tomorrow to help me with a bit of stuff. Because, you know, I need help at the moment. And that's not quite straight now. And she asked, was there anything she could bring? And I said, yes. Guess what I asked her to bring? It's important. This other stuff is important. And you know, it's not all about the cards. In fact, that's the thing I have really learned. Gosh, I'm really struggling tonight, aren't I? Goodness me. So this should be 14.3 and it's slightly too long. Yep, correct. Correct. She's coming over and she said, what can I bring? I went, paper trimmer. Exactly. All right, so now it should be right. Yes, it is. All right. So that's if we went on the white base. That's how this would look. And I think we could add, you know what we could add that would look really nice? We could add some Wing Stella to the center of our little flowers here to make them sparkly. That would look good. The other option is I could use the opal rounds and put them in the center. That's another possibility. Let me have a look and see if there's any navy scraps. I'm sure there is in my... Let me see how this is. Okay, that's a little bit too wide, so I'm just going to get it to be the right size. So that is the right size. Half a sheet of A4 is 14.8 by 21 centimeters, which is all the way across. And that's the right width. So that's how it looks on the white. And then if I do it on the navy, that's how it looks on the navy. Do we like it on the navy better or the white? What do you think, guys? If you like the white, say 1. If you like the navy, say 2. I'm looking back. What's this about biscuits? Who's talking about biscuits? What are HCBs? Does anyone not know what are HCBs? Come on, you guys. Surely someone knows what HCBs are. Okay, some people, I think more people are saying navy. Looks like navy is going to win. Although there are some also ones. If I do navy, I have to put a white card base inside. Oh, it's nearly Easter. It's got nothing to do with cards. It's got to do with food. HCBs at Easter is what? That's your clue. It's Easter time, guys. Yes, Marie got it. That's right. And Jody did too. And as soon as you know what it is, you go, oh, of course it is. All right, looks like navy's one. So I'm going to put this on my navy card base. And I feel that I need to put some bling on as well. So we'll do that. And then I'll put a white card base on the inside so that we've got somewhere to write on this card. There's a couple of marks up here, so I'm feeling like I need to put some bling. Maybe, have I got some opal rounds handy? Let me see if I do. I mean, there are so many different kinds of bling. I mean, we could use gold or copper or silver from the metallic adhesive backed ones. Those would look nice. But I'm looking to see if there's something else that would look really good. Here we go. Here's some opal rounds. These are the ones from this set. These are not retiring, okay? You are correct, Rose. But we had a few people guess correctly. So the navy ones, do you think? We've got navy, we've got gold, and we've got white. The yellow or the goldy coloured ones, those would look nice as well. But I think I'm leaning towards the navy because we went with the navy card base. But because I have a mark here, I'm going to put that one right there on top of that mark that no one will see. And then we'll go, actually, you know, I might put the little guy up there, not the big one. I'm going to put a bigger one here and maybe one down the bottom here. All right, just like that. 2 at hello. Do you think we should have 2 down there? Nate, do you think there should be more down here? I'm going to use my take your pick tool because it does a better job of. Do you mean down here? And yeah, I think maybe this one wants to go running around. There we go. Is that too many? All right, we're done. Just pretend that I put my piece inside. Just pretend. I'll do that later. But at least we have a card, so that's done. Now, for my second one, my lovely friend Emma, who sent me a beautiful picture of a card this morning, said, have you tried this before? And actually I have, but I haven't done it with the dies that she was talking about, and that's the Spotlight on Nature dies, okay? So true, it does draw attention to the sentiment, so that's a good idea. I'm just going to put these couple of ink pads away so I don't get myself all mixed up. And I've got my greens here. And the Night of Navy, put that one away as well. All right, so I'm going to pull out some dies. These are not retiring, but you will. It was mentioned because quite a few people thought to themselves that they were retiring because they're not in the new catalogue. But just because something isn't in the new catalogue doesn't mean it's retiring, because it sometimes turns out that it becomes an online exclusive instead. So that is what I think has happened with these, because they're not on the last chance list. These are the Spotlight on Nature dies, and they are a series of circles. They don't actually match up with the stamps at all, but they're fantastic. A little bit like the textured notes, you know, all those rectangles that don't actually match the card, the stamps, but they are just fantastic in their own right. So this is Spotlight on Nature, and I love this set. Okay, so there's I'm going to use the biggest ones. I could go with this one or this one. They are the same size. So you've got this one that's got like the little, I don't know what you would call it, like little, what would you call that? Lines? I can't think of a better word. Little lines all the way around the outside. And that's the one I think I might use. And then maybe the next one down would be this one. So that one might be the next one to go. All right, I'm going to go with those two. And we're going to make a shaped card. So I've got a piece of basic white here. You could use any color cardstock you wanted for this. They are really lovely. Actually, I'm wondering, now I'm doing this, I'm thinking it might have been better off picking a different color to start with. What color will I do? Oh, well, we'll start with this, and then I can always add on to another. Now, what we're going to do, we're actually going to be cutting our circle, but we're going to cut both layers, okay? And you probably, when you're doing this, you want to do, it works best with any cardstock. Because it's going to be our card base, I would pick grooves. Yeah, that's good. I like grooves. That sounds good. Or teeth, says Moira. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to make a circular card, okay? But what we do to make the card a circle as the card base is you want to cut through both layers of the cardstock at the same time, but you actually want to put it so that your edge of your die is over the folded edge. So this is the edge that I've folded. Okay, can you see that? All right, I'm making sure this is over the folded edge. Now what's going to happen is it's going to cut all the way around here, but it's not going to cut this section here because that is not actually affected by the die. Okay, so if you want to think about this, because if you only want a little bit of a fold in the middle and most of the circle intact, then you'll have it a little bit closer. If you want to have a wider fold, then you'll move it further up. Okay, somewhere in between the two is good. I don't want too much, I don't want too little, so I'm thinking that's probably about right. I'm going to have from here to here attached by the fold. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it just like this through like a faux fringe. Yeah, it is kind of that. Okay, so radiating lines, says Leslie. Well, that's probably the technical term, I would say. That sounds right, Leslie. It sounds like you know what you're talking about. Right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to put this so this folded edge does not get cut, and I'm going to put it exactly like this through my machine. So let me quickly do that. Because we're going through two layers at once, I would suggest that you run it through and then run it back again. Okay, so that way you're more certain it's going to cut all the way through, because you don't want it to not cut all the way through. All right, so I can see it has cut. When I turn it over, I can see it's cut here from the back. And so this is now cut out. And then when I take this away, at the top here, and you might have to flick the pieces apart, because can you see that the lines make them glue together really quite well. All right, and so when it opens up, you have it like this. All right, now you can do this with any shape. I did it on the front of one of my cards last month for the everyday arches. The arches are great actually for doing that. You can do it with butterflies. You can do it with any shape actually. So let me just show you what I'm talking about. So the butterflies, I've got a few of those. Just trying to find one. Okay, so this is an example of a butterfly one, okay, where I did the same thing. I had the top of the butterfly wings extending beyond the fold, so that when you open it up, it actually is joined here at the top. Okay, so you can do that. You can do this exact technique with any shape. All right, so it's a handy thing to know. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut this piece, the next size down, and it's going to go right in the middle there, which is also going to extend a little bit over the fold and make it look more circular as well. So I'm actually going to cut that just from a piece of basic white, not the thick, just the normal white. And I'm going to, actually I'm wondering if I should do it on, actually I might do it on a color. Let's do it on a color instead. I'm making this up as I go, can you tell? All right, so I'm going to cut this just out of some Pretty in Pink that I've got sitting here. And I'm going to, now I'm just thinking what I'm doing with this card might take me a little bit longer, so we'll go past the 8:30 definitely tonight. I think, are we already there? We might be. Oh, 8:27. All right, so you can see that I've cut this out, and I'd like all my little holes out. So I'm actually going to, you can either flick it over with your brush, or you can use your, there's a, like a pad, a sponge pad that comes with the brush die tip. Sorry, the brush tip. This brush for dies, and you could do it on that as well. All right, so there's another little one there and another one here. All right, now just get rid of those. All right, so this piece is going to go right here like this. All right, and complete my circle. Now, I have probably, this is probably my favorite stamp set at the moment. I'm using it nearly every single card. I can't help myself. This is actually going to, this stamp is actually a little bit bigger than our circle, but it won't matter. All right, so I'm actually going to put this one. Interestingly, you can't really read it. It's not meant to be read. It's just meant to look like script, but you can tell if it's upside down because, you know, like for example, you know, you can see that says at once. I can read that little bit there, but the T has got to be facing the right way. So even though you can't, people won't actually be reading the whole thing. If you have it the wrong way, it's noticeable. So do take the time to make sure you put it the right way. All right, I'm going to go and bring some Pretty in Pink ink on here, and I'm going to just stamp this over as a background. And I'm going to stand up so I can make sure I get that right over the top. It's just meant to be a background. It's really pretty. You could use DSP instead if you wanted to. You could use whatever you like, really. And I was thinking, should I just stamp one of these other ones? I might. We'll see. I've got some spare white here, and I'm deciding, do I just want a leaf and a flower, or do I actually want to put these? These are my favorite, these ones here. So I am not sure which way I want to go with these. I think I'll just go with these because I can't help myself. I really love them. And let's put that back in there. This up. So I'm using block E for these larger stamps, and because this is a rubber stamp, it lends itself really well to we're doing all the techniques tonight, you guys. It lends itself really well to using markers to give you a multicolored image. Okay, so I hope you're feeling a little bit inspired tonight, Leslie. I really do. So this is another technique, I guess you would say. And then I'm thinking I might come in here with my pretty Petunia Pop, because Petunia Pop is and I'm just going to colour the bottom of these. And then I'm going to do Pretty in Pink. Is this Pretty in Pink? Hang on a second, let me double check. Yeah, it is. And I'm going to do the top and run that down into where the petunia is. So they're going to look like they're blending together. And I'm using the brush end because that's quicker. And, oh, we better do this one. I don't think I added any petunia to that one, did I? Let's just do a little bit. And then we huff on it. And then we stamp it. Now, the thing about this, you can see how nice this is when it's, see how it colored, you've got your green leaves and you've got your pink coloured flowers, which looks really nice. Now, it's going to look really lovely on that, but it does need to be cut out by hand because there's no die for this. Okay, so I'm asking myself, do I want to sit here and cut this all out? And maybe if anyone needs to, well, do we need to go, or are you guys happy for me to cut the whole thing? I can just give you an idea if you just want me to finish. Well, if you want me to finish it, means we might go a little later than usual tonight. I'm cutting right around the whole thing at the moment, like just being careless and just wildly cutting, just so you can start to get an idea of what this is going to look like. Okay, so you can stay. Happy to watch. Okay, have time. All right, so I'm going to, I won't take too long, I promise. So while I'm cutting away here and you're all chatting amongst yourselves and having a beautiful time, does anyone have any questions for me? Is there anything you would like to know? And I'm going to keep my eye on the comments because I would be very happy to answer any questions you might have. What do you need to know? Ask me anything, you guys. I'm not above telling you whatever it is you would like to know. There is something nice about watching people cut and about watching people colour. Those two things I think are both very therapeutic to watch other people do, but even more therapeutic to do yourself. Nearly, there you go, what Tanya just said. You just said what I said. That seems to happen a bit, doesn't it? So has anyone got any questions for me? Any questions you want to know about the new catalogue? Any questions you want to know about, I don't know, about my trip? You know, I'm coming up to a trip next month. What else would you like to know? So I'm always leave a little border around. I just think it looks so much neater than cutting on the line. And it's also more forgiving. If you cut on the line and you make a mistake, it's really obvious. Whereas if you have that little border around, it's a little bit. A quick question. Is the Beautiful Butterflies bundle still available? Yes, as far as I know. We can double check that for you. But as far as I am aware, yes, it is. And it's a great bundle. That's one of my favorites. And I believe it's going to continue. I don't think it's last chance. Can we confirm that? How long will I be away? Altogether, just over 2 weeks. So not that long. But thank you for the question. The first week I'm over there will be spent with my husband's family because he's actually going for a month. I'm only going for 2 weeks. Where am I off to? Okay, so Stampin' Up's trip this year is to Disney World in Florida. And like I said, we're going over to see the family first, and they are in Michigan. Okay, so which is a beautiful part of the world. It is really lovely there. And his sister, where we fly into, lives in what they call the UP or Upper Peninsula of Michigan. And that's, you know, really lovely up there, right near the Canadian border, right across the water. You can actually see Canada from their side. And then his parents live further down in western Michigan, right on Lake Michigan itself. So we'll spend a week or so there before we head down to Florida. Did I miss any other questions? How long can you come with me? Wouldn't that be nice, Cherie? I missed that question, but that would be lovely. Wouldn't that be nice? Now, I've got all these white bits in the middle, which I could cut out, but I don't feel like I need to. I I think that's probably, or maybe this one. I might do this one in here. Just do that one. Any other questions? What set I will be using for the Zoom class? Oh, I don't know yet, Janine. I'm still deciding. It's tough. That's really tough. I'm actually going to end up cutting this bit off the bottom. Let me push up those couple of guys. And I'm going to put some dimensionals behind these because, okay, what do I do with my dimensionals? Oh, managed to, oh, here they are. Found them. You're a Michigan girl, Pamela. Are you whereabouts? Which end? Which side? You know, I've gotten used to it now. You know, everyone does this and says whereabouts. And then there's also this. There's also that, isn't there? So anyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about, it's a little thing that Michiganders do with their hands to tell you whereabouts in Michigan they are from. Any other questions? Did I miss any? I'm still deciding about the Zoom class. I am leaning. I can tell you what's on my list. I looked at Bloom, Impressions of Bloom. I looked at that one, and I looked at Gallery Blooms. I looked at that one. They're the ones that are really calling my name at the moment. But it has to be something that I can get now because I have to be able to make the cards with it before I go away. And I actually go away the day before the catalogue goes live. That wasn't very good planning, was it? Okay, I'm going to cut this in line with my circle. All right, like that. And then I'm going to pop this here in the center. It looks really pretty, doesn't it? So it's a pretty little card. It's something different. Let's put that there and that there and this here. Michiganders, yeah, that's what they call themselves. Yes, so we're going to Disney World. We'll be there from the 13th of, so it's a month today we'll be there. That's exciting. The 13th to the 18th we're there. All right, so this is looking rather cute, don't you think? And I could put, from this set, we've got Dear Friend and we've got Thanks. I think the Thanks is going to fit nicely over here. And now I've got this on here, I've realized that I don't want to have that funny little bit. I'm going to have, that's better. All right. The Thanks. I could put this on a greeting, like, sorry, on a banner or something, or I could just cut around it. I'm tempted to just cut around it, actually. So I'm going to stamp that with Petunia Pop, which is my darker pink. The quicker thing, of course, would be to cut it with a die. There's a really nice, now that I've started to cut it, there's a really nice little banner in the Beautiful Butterflies set that actually is really good for little greetings like this. And this one would be a good size for that, actually. But I'm just cutting this out. I'm doing way more cutting than I normally do tonight. Yeah, I'm definitely going way over tonight because I just picking all the long-winded ways of doing the card, but oh well. In for a penny, in for a pound. Is that what we say? Did anyone have any more questions while I'm doing this? 45 minutes southeast of Detroit. Right. Okay. Well, I have been to Detroit many times, but usually on the way out, always on the way out to Western Michigan. You know, so we go, I forget what the highway is called, but we go past Ann Arbor and those kind of places on our way. where my husband's family is a little town called Manistee, and they are it's beautiful, actually. It's a lovely part of the world. All right. I think it would have been better. Now I've done it, it would have been better on a banner, but that's okay. I'm just going to use a couple of mini dimensionals behind it to make it stand out. But at least you get the idea of how this would work and how easy these are to do. These are, you can do, you know, there are just so many different ways to make these come together. And then you could use like a ribbon at the top. Actually, you know what would be nice would be this ribbon, which is probably one of my favorite ribbons. This one, this is the white with the silver edge. You could tie that around the top if you felt like it. And we could tie a knot, or we could tie a bow. Because my hand wants to cramp up now. That's okay. So yeah, we got a lot of work done this. And for those of you who've watched my stories on Instagram, I also baked some rye sourdough. It's my first loaf of rye sourdough. I've made sourdough before, but this is the first time I've made rye. And it turned out really great. We had it for breakfast this morning. It was delicious. So I did that yesterday, and then today and the rest of yesterday we were just cleaning, getting ready for guests. That's what we are. There we go. And it's going to need some bling, I think, just a little bit. Maybe some silver or some... Oh, we could also... You remember the ones we used the other night? These guys, the shimmer gems. These have got... I could use some pretty in pink, or I could... Yeah, maybe I think because the silver has... The ribbon has silver in it, I think maybe some silver would be nice. So I'm going to use my adhesive metallic gems for that. Let me just find them very quickly. There we go. Oh, have I only got the small size? I might only have the small size. That's okay. There we go. I'm going to call that a finish card. What do you think? You like it? Oh, that's interesting. Thank you for saying that, Denise. That's a great idea. I might have to have a little play with that and see what I can do with it. So they just hit it with a heat tool? Is that what they did? Well, that sounds like an experiment worth pursuing. So, all right. So this is what we ended up with tonight. A couple of really different, totally different cards. And I've got a mess. That's what I've ended up with tonight, is a giant mess, because I've got stuff everywhere. Look, let me see. Can you see the big mess I've got over here? Whoops. Oh, well. I think the safest thing is to come back to me. So, how do we do? I know that you guys have really had to bear with me tonight as I took my time doing a whole bunch of things, but sometimes it's nice. It's just nice to be together, and it's nice to sit and craft and forget all the other stuff, right? All right, you guys. Well, I'm going to say ta-ta. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel here if you haven't. If you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. And if you'd like to be notified when I go live, you can hit the little bell and it will let you know whenever, send you a notification whenever I go live. The other thing that you can do is you can sign up for my newsletter. That's over on my blog. And I'm going to put that blog address up on the screen right now. It's this one, lookwhatimade.com.au. And when you go there, you can go shopping. If you're in Australia, you can go shopping, or you can also sign up for the newsletter so you always get kept informed and up to date on whatever's happening with me, and also with my little business specials and all that kind of stuff, and videos and tutorials are in there as well. So I hope that you will enjoy those things. All right, you guys. Well, I think we're done for another night. Oh, that would be fun. Oh, a recipe for the sourdough recipe. Well, you need a sourdough starter. I'm happy to send it to you. Send me a private message and I'll send you a photo of the recipe I used. But there's so many different recipes out there. But if you, the other thing you can do is just search for easy rice sourdough recipe and you'll find them. But I'm happy to send it to you. Okay, I can delete that. Yeah, you don't want all sorts of weird things showing up in your, let me see how far back it was. The problem is there's so many comments. I don't know where that address was. Let me see if I can find it. I want to find it. Because once the video's over, I don't think I can after that. Oh my goodness. You guys. There's a lot of chatter on here. You can't get to it either? I'm trying to find it. I'm doing as well as can be expected with my trimmer. Sometimes they don't see your comments until I'm scrolling through later. All right, I think I'm nearly there. Goodness me, so many comments. I think you've been very chatty tonight. Now I'm worried I've gone too far. Ah, found it. Delete comment. I've deleted that comment. Comment's gone, Cherie. All right, you guys. Have a really great week. For those of you who are in my team, we'll have our team get together tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock on the Facebook group. So be there or be square. And I will see you then. Have a great week, you guys. The rest of you, I'll see you at Technique Tuesday at 2 p.m. on Tuesday afternoon. Bye.